Ever done something so cringy that you wish you could erase it from your memory? Well, Billy Squier took cringe to a whole new level with his music video for Rock Me Tonite. From Squier's awkward dance moves to the cheesy special effects, it is a masterclass in what not to do in a music video. The video was so bad, it actually damaged Squier's career. Some even say it's the reason he never quite reached the same level of success again. And Squier was so upset with it that he actually fired his two managers over it. So, if you're looking for a good laugh, or you just want to see what happens when an artist makes the worst music video decision of all time, keep on watching this video. In the early 1980s, Billy Squier was riding high on the wave of success. He had just released two massive records, Don't Say No in 1981 and Emotions in Motion the following year, both of which became top 5 hits. Together, these albums sold an incredible 5 million copies, and Billy Squier was packing arenas for sold-out shows. It looked like he was set for a fantastic career throughout the 80s. However, things took a dramatic turn in 1984 when he released his fourth album, Signs of Life. At first, it seemed like another hit was in the making thanks to the lead single, Rock Me Tonite. The song soared to number 1 on the rock charts and even crossed over to peak at number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. If Squier had stopped at that single, his career might have continued to soar throughout the 80s. But what came next is what many consider a disastrous career move. Like most songs of that era, Rock Me Tonite got the video treatment. Unfortunately, the video turned out to be cringe-worthy and downright awful. Kenny Ortega, best known for directing the High School Musical films, directed this ill-fated music video. The video, which you can watch here, showed Squier waking up in a bed with colorful satin sheets. From there, he pranced around the room while getting dressed, ultimately putting on a pink tank top over a white shirt. By the video's end, he picked up a pink guitar to join his band in performing the song. Fast forward to 2011. A book titled I Want My MTV focused on the network's early years and interviewed over 400 people, including artists, managers, filmmakers, record company executives, and MTV employees. Interestingly, while there was no consensus on the best MTV video of all time, there was widespread agreement that Rock Me Tonite was the worst music video ever made. In fact, the book dedicated an entire chapter to discussing the video. When the video first debuted on MTV, you might wonder why no one, including Billy Squier's manager, stepped in to say, maybe this isn't a good idea. We're not putting this video out. But it's essential to remember that hindsight is 20/20. In the context of the early 80s music charts, filled with bands making cheesy music videos, Squier was merely following the trend of the time. In the early 80s, the music scene was all about being popular and, let's face it, a little cheesy. Just take a look at some of the hits from that time, like Billy Idol's Eyes Without a Face, Paul Stanley and Kiss's Heaven's on Fire video, or even REO Speedwagon dressed in drag in I Do Wanna Know. It was an era where over-the-top visuals and dramatic flair were the norm. Initially, Billy Squier had a different vision for his Rock Me Tonite video. He wanted to show himself getting ready for a concert, paralleled by younger fans doing the same, eventually sneaking out to join him at the show. Squier even aimed to get Bob Giraldo, the director behind Michael Jackson's iconic Beat It video, on board to direct. Giraldo was initially enthusiastic about the idea, but he declined due to budget constraints. Capitol Records, Squier's label, wasn't keen on splurging big bucks on music videos at that time, especially when compared to other record labels. With no director on board and an MTV premiere date looming, Squier and his management were in a tight spot. They turned to David Mallet, who had directed Billy Idol's White Wedding video. Mallet came up with some storyboards, but they were promptly rejected. Squier recalled his brief interaction with Mallet, saying, and I'm quoting, "The first thing he showed me was a scene of me riding into a diner on a white horse. I was like, get rid of him." In a pinch, Kenny Ortega stepped in to direct the video. Interestingly, Ortega happened to be a friend of Billy Squier's girlfriend at the time. Ortega was best known for his work on the Pointer Sisters' I'm So Excited video, and had also collaborated with David Mallet on choreography for some of his videos. Ortega brought his own ideas to the table, suggesting that the frontmen of the band replicate Squier's on-stage moves in the video, minus the guitars. He envisioned a video in line with Tom Cruise's iconic scene in Risky Business. However, Squier was not on board with this concept, believing the video should have a grainy and darker aesthetic. This behind-the-scenes turmoil and a lack of a cohesive vision ultimately set the stage for what would become one of the most infamous music videos of all time. Little did anyone know at the time that this video would have such a detrimental impact on Billy Squier's once promising career. As the day of the video shoot arrived, Billy Squier stepped onto the set and was met with a sight that left him concerned. Satin and pastel-colored sheets adorned the set, a far cry from what he had envisioned for the video. Kenny Ortega, the director, tried to reassure Squier that the final product would align with his vision. Tom Muller, one of Squier's managers at the time, emphasized the importance of including footage of the band performing the song in its entirety, which would be used for coverage. Ortega agreed to do so, but he ultimately failed to deliver on that promise. Frustrated with the direction the video was taking, Muller took his concerns to the president of Capitol Records, suggesting they scrap the video altogether. However, the label disagreed and decided to release it despite Muller's reservations. Meanwhile, Billy Squier was on tour when he first saw the video, and it left him in shock. While his record label attempted to downplay his concern, assuring him that the single was already successful and not to worry, Squier's girlfriend had a different perspective. She believed that the video had the potential to ruin his career, a belief that would soon prove to be tragically accurate. Squier wasted no time in expressing the immediate impact the video had on his career. He stated, quote, "The video had a deleterious effect on my career. The tour before, I was selling out arenas faster than Sinatra. And as soon as the video came out, I was playing to half-empty houses." So why was this video so intensely disliked? Well, it is essential to remember that the 1980s had a particular view of masculinity, and it was not encouraged for men to appear effeminate. Men were expected to exude toughness and conform to certain societal expectations. Squier himself commented on the matter, expressing that the video misrepresenting him as an artist was a significant part of why it faced such backlash. Till then, Billy Squier, renowned for his good looks and undeniable sex appeal, had played a pivotal role in selling records. However, the Rock Me Tonite video portrayed him in a different light. Squier felt that the video depicted him as a quote-unquote pretty boy prancing around, leading some to question his sexual orientation or speculate about drug use. This perception went against the tough, masculine image that was the norm in the 1980s. Surprisingly, the video's director, Kenny Ortega, had a different perspective. In 1986, he claimed, "If anything, I tried to toughen the image he was projecting." Ortega and the video's editor were so frustrated with the lack of creative input that they had their names removed from the credits. It's clear that Rock Me Tonite was undoubtedly a Billy Squier video, and it had severe repercussions for his career. Squier himself acknowledged that the video's effeminate nature alienated a significant portion of his fan base, which primarily consisted of teenage boys at the time. Even his peers in the music industry, like Rudolf Schenker of the Scorpions, expressed their disappointment, saying, quote, "I liked him very much, but then I saw him doing the video in a very terrible way, and I couldn't take his music seriously anymore." The aftermath of this ill-fated video was evident in the trajectory of Squier's career. Each subsequent album release following Signs of Life showed a steady decline in his popularity, with his last two albums, Tell the Truth 1993 and Happy Blue from 1990, failing to even chart. The big question remains, did the video play a significant role in Billy Squier's plummeting popularity, or was it just a minor factor? As fans, your opinions on this matter. Did you care about the video's impact on Squier's career, or did you view it differently? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. That wraps up today's discussion. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and as always, if you have suggestions for future topics, please drop them in the comment section below.